Yo, this is your man Preacher Bishop representing the BX, Richard Loyal. Yo, tune into my man Dusty Vision TV, man. He got it locked on these streets, man. The hottest growing YouTube channel and podcast. Make sure you like and subscribe. Dusty Vision TV, Richard Loyal. I'm out.
Dusty Vision TV. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and please tell a friend about my show. Hey, Chester Projects Bronx is in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, returning to the show, I have Preacher Bishop. What up, man?
What's going on? What's going on? Peace to the world. Happy New Year's, brother.
You too, homeboy. How's it treating you so far, man?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Can't really complain. You know, just trying to stay positive and focused for this year. Trying to make some real power moves happen, and that's about it, man.
Yeah,
so,
man.
you know, I can't. You know, besides the world being on fire, my family situation is straight.
Now, growing up, we heard a lot about South Bronx, obviously from hip hop. But what are the differences, if there's any, you know, between North Bronx and South Bronx?
The difference between the North Bronx and the South Bronx, like the North Bronx is all the way uptown, so a lot of people have never even been to that part of the Bronx. You know, as you were saying, like the South Bronx is really through hip hop and all of that had become famous. But the Bronx is a whole borough, and up in my part of the Bronx, it's you have like private houses at certain points, and then you have housing projects. So it's like a conglomerate of both. More in the South Bronx of more projects and regular buildings and regular blocks. They do have private houses, but that came later. Like in the early 2000s, they started building them things. But back in the day, the South Bronx was known for the burned down buildings and, you know, the poverty, really poverty stricken. The North Bronx was a little more cleaner. Not saying that we were very, very poverty stricken, but it just wasn't the scenery of the South Bronx, like the burnt down buildings and, you know, the rubble everywhere. It wasn't like that. You just had to take maybe two train stops away, and then you was in a rubble.
Okay. Yeah, when you look at old videos and, you know, or even old movies that take place in the Bronx, it looks devastated. Like, you know, back in the 70s and 80s, I mean, broken down cars everywhere, buildings burned, you know, just like you said, on the South Side especially. You know you're in the hood. Like, you could see that and be like, that's the hood. See, out here in LA, and you could be riding through a nice neighborhood, and you're like, damn, this is South Central LA. You know what I'm saying? Lawns are manicured and everything. But I guess my question is, I don't know if you know the history behind this, but do you know if it's just NYC at that time just forgot about the Bronx? They just didn't care about what was going on? Like, how did?
Yeah. What was going on? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut your question.
No, that was it.
Yeah, what was going on was, you know, they called it the Bronx burning. What was happening was a lot of the landlords were paying and also, you know, burning their own property for the insurance and leaving people out of their homes. You know what I mean? So there was a lot of that going on, and they didn't really care about the situation or the effect that it would have on the community, which, as we could see, it looked like Beirut, or like a bomb hit it at one point in time. But, you know, to me, you know, my grandma, my family is from the South Bronx. My stepdad, my biological father. So I spent a lot of time in the South Bronx in the early 80s. And it was almost natural when you grow up in that poverty-stricken and the way that the scenery of the environment looks. It's natural. I didn't know that everywhere didn't look like that until I went somewhere else. You understand what I'm saying? That was almost natural to us. So I sit back and I see, you know, I go on YouTube and I look at some things about the Bronx in the 80s or New York City in the 80s, and the feeling is bad when you look at it. I'm glad my kids don't have to grow up in that, but it's nostalgic to me because that's how I grew up. It was fun. We played in those buildings. We played on those pissy mattresses, and you know what I mean? That was us. So to some people, they might look at it like it was a horror story, but to us, that was life.
This is just me nerding out on some nerd shit, but I've always been in the documentaries, right? And
Okay.
one of my favorite, if not my favorite, most inspirational documentary to me, because at one point that's what I wanted to do, and I can still pursue that if I want. But one of my favorite documentaries of all time is Hookers at the Point.
Oh, that's my shit.
Yeah, the dude's voice and everything, like his
Yeah.
rhyming and shit. It's just like it was watching that on HBO. You know, as a young person, was just amazing to me. I know that's the South Bronx, you know,
Right.
but do you know if it's still like that around there, or has it pretty much been
Nah,
gentrified?
yeah, it's been gentrified. That came along in like the mid 2000s. You know me, Dusty. I don't really try to get too intricate on exactly what my activities were, but
Hmm.
I spent some time down there at the point, and it totally changed. They swept it up, and it was like it's a whole nother world. Like almost overnight, you went out there, it was crazy. You had the hookers, you had it crazy, and then one day you just went out there and it was like kids playing outside, and you know new tenements and things of that nature. So yeah, they cleaned it up. Not saying that there's no dirt going on over there, but and if you are trying to get caught, then you'll go out there because that's where you'll get caught because it's a known area and they're not having it.
Yeah, I know New York in general has just cleaned up in the past 25 years. I know, if you used to walk down Times Square, in the mid 90s, it's not the Times Square, that they had peep shows, they had
Oh
just
yeah, man. Look, that was some of our first experiences. If you from the hood, like, yo, let's go to Fort Deuce. You know what I'm saying? Get a little peep show, little horny boys, you know what
yeah,
I'm
of course, yeah.
saying? Get the little peep show. You walking down that street like, them hookers didn't care how old you was. Hey, you want to date? Like, it was wild like that. Drugs and all types of. It was madness. What people see on TV and these documentaries is absolutely true, but it's only a tip of the iceberg because that's just on film. You had to breathe the air. You had to smell the night. You had to be there, to understand what was going on.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I just remember seeing it when I on TV, you know what I'm saying, when I was a kid, and couldn't imagine just being there.
Still in love with you. What am I? What am I?
Yo, this is your man Preacher Bishop representing the BX, Richard Loyal. Yo, tune into my man Dusty Vision TV, man. He got it locked on these streets, man. The hottest growing YouTube channel and podcast. Make sure you like and subscribe. Dusty Vision TV, Richard Loyal. I'm out.
Just give me a little bit of peace, steady job and some food to eat. Just give me a little bit of peace, steady job and some food to eat. Just give me a little bit of peace.
Now, last time we talked about Africa Bambaataa a little bit. We touched on that whole situation. But since then, unfortunately, we had a situation with Crazy Legs from the legendary Rocksteady crew, who's had some wild allegations made against him. I'm sure you're hip to that. How does it make you feel, man, knowing that this art that we grew up on, that there's a lot of shit that could have possibly, because we got to say allegedly, could have possibly went on?
It saddens me, but I'm a realist, and I don't pacify anybody's behavior. But I know that it was a different time then, and what the behavior that people thought was acceptable wasn't acceptable, and you can't mend anybody's feelings and give them, a limit on how long they can be upset about how they were affected by a situation. So I do understand that it was a different time, but it's very, very upsetting to know that that's how people conducted themselves, or allegedly conducted themselves within this business and this art form. To take advantage or have a position of power and use that to your advantage is not, not really kosher, man. But
Yeah.
that's not something I would do. It's not something that it hurts. It's not something I would do.
Yeah, it just sucks when it's people that you grew up loving and trusting. You're like, damn, man, and then you hear this shit, and it's a sad
Yeah.
situation. But kind of keeping it on the hip hop subject, I didn't get to ask you this last time, but Out Here Banging on Wax was a really big album. The Bloods and the Crips album, Paru's, versus Crips, and I'm curious, to the best of your knowledge, was Bronx bumping Banging on Wax back then?
Well, all right, I'm gonna put it to you like this: you had to have an open mind in order to really mess with music outside of New York. Me personally, I was always artsy. I was always different, so I messed with all types of music. You might run into somebody who's an air like who thinks like, and y'all vibe off the same thing. But as a whole, it wasn't like how as big as it was in LA or California. But yeah, we bumped a couple tracks, but I couldn't tell you I know Banging on Wax like I know EPMD. You know what I mean? It just wasn't like that for us. But we did get a glimpse of it. It was on Video Music Box, but they really wasn't pushing that too hard on the East Coast.
That's fair enough. What about something like the movie Colors? Was that on your radar?
Oh man, Colors, Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society. Those things had major influences on our culture as a whole as Black people. You know what I mean? But especially on the East Coast, because now we get to see more than what's on our block, what's in our surrounding 5 boroughs. We get to see how other hoods do if you've never been nowhere before. You know what I mean? We kind of got more of an understanding of the gang culture out there, or just the culture, the low riders, and because you see it in a video that's only 3 minutes, 3 minutes of which I got to show, tell your story. But once you put it in a movie, you get a better understanding. And yeah, that was our shit. We know them by heart. I know them by heart. I know every word to all of those movies.
Yeah, and likewise, we were movies like New Jack City, King of New York. Those were legendary, over here as well. And I never stepped foot in New York until my 30s, but I felt like, just from those movies, I felt like I knew, about it. So yeah, that's crazy how 3,000 miles away a movie can have so much influence.
Yeah, man. It start, the right movie come out, it'll start changing people's lane. You got, when you're a kid, or it influences you, so you never know. People like, hey man, you from the West Coast? What you talking about? G, you watching too much movies? What's going on? Like, but it is what it is. Everybody influences everybody, so it was a great thing, I think, for our culture.
Yeah. Who has a bigger presence in the Bronx, Bloods or Crips?
Be honest with you, Bloods always had a bigger presence in the Bronx. They were like really prevalent in the Bronx. Yeah, the Bloods always had a bigger presence, but the Crips, they put it down. So.
Okay, and that's New York in general, right? New York is a Blood state.
Yeah, for the most part, the East Coast, the East Coast up north is mostly Blood. Even down south is a lot of Bloods. Crips are now on a rise. More. You're starting to see more people crack out and claim who they are. But like back in the day, mid to late 90s, early 2000s, it wasn't cool for everybody to say they was Crip, or everybody for the most part was Blood. Crip sets was pretty small for the most part. They still had other gangs active that was from New York, home based gangs, but they had to put it down. Crips had to put it down in order to be respected.
And I know it's a different borough, and you've since left the whole street life. But do you know anything about the Woos and the Chos? I've been hearing a lot about them lately.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, Dusty, man. Once I went to the military, I'm from the old school where It was just really, well, I say old school, I'm not that old, but it was just Crips and Bloods and Black Kings, Nietas, Zulus, Matatones, and Dominican Power. Like, once I went to the military and I came home, it was a whole different ball game. I'm not that I'm out of tune, but me personally, I don't know one Wu or Cho. I'm from the Bronx. We got Bloods and Crips. You know what I mean? I don't really know about. I really don't know about that, so I can't even speak on that. I see it on the internet, and it's like, kids, my kids' age, that's doing this thing. So I really can't even relate to it. I like the music that's coming out, but I can't even really relate to it.
Yeah. Yeah, you and me both. I mean, a lot of the information I get is just from my show. So I'm glad you didn't speak on anything that you don't, have too much knowledge on.
Just give me a little bit of peace, steady job and some food to eat. Just give me a little
You
bit.
familiar with Casanova 2 Times, the rapper out there?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure you've heard that he, was recently arrested, him and his crew. A lot of different crimes. You can look it up online, everyone out there, if you want to, look more into it, Casanova 2 Times. But my question for you is they're using his Vlad TV interviews against him, apparently, like Adam 22 interviews and things like that. My question is, who do you blame more? Do you blame the Vlad TVs for asking the question, or do you blame the rappers who go on his show and tell everything? And before you answer that, sit on that for a second. I want to tell everybody out there, remind them why I only interview people who lived a life and haven't done dirt in 10, 15, 20 years, because most of the stuff, if anything, they say on my show is past the statute of limitations. I don't want to have some 22-year-old dude on my show who talked about a crime he did 3 weeks ago, you know what I'm saying, and then I have to get my show gets subpoenaed and all of that. So that's why I like to talk to cats who have been out of the the streets for a long time. But that back to my question, who do you think are more at fault, or are they equally at fault? Vlad TV for asking the question, or the person voluntarily giving that answer?
Nah, I'm be honest, it's all on the artist. It's all on, that's Vlad's job. He's in media. If you are an active gang member, or you're in these streets heavy, or you have any type of illegal activities going on and you're questioning about it, that's on you to answer the question honestly. And once he puts that on, once he hits that record button, he owns that. So that's on you. I don't blame Vlad for nothing. Now, do I think Vlad be lining people up with the questions that he asked? Yeah, he lined them up, but that's on them to answer the question. You can say I don't have comment, or I can't speak on that, or I don't know what you're talking about. There's no difference than when you're operating in this world. If you want to stay free out here, people get it confused. Like, oh, he lined them up. He asked him this question, and he knows that if he knows, then it's public knowledge. So that's on the person who exposed that information. That's on the artist. That's all on the artist, man. I don't put no blame on Vlad for that, man. Yeah. People who do, they can't. They really don't live the street life, because I look at the screen and I see some of the things that these artists are doing that has nothing to do with music, and I'm like, y'all wilding.
Oh yeah. Selling drugs on Instagram. That's another thing, homie, to keep on the Casanova 2 Times thing. Most of the evidence that they have against him from selling bricks and this, that, cross state and this and that came from his Instagram DMs, dog. These guys think that just because they hit delete that, that message is gone. No, man. They can subpoena IG, and IG has the cloud, and they will bring all those messages right back, dude. So yeah, it's crazy that they're doing shit online now, dog.
Listen, my job was military intelligence. I had 2 jobs in the army. One was a cook, and the other one was military intelligence. And I already knew how to cook when I went in there. So what military intelligence taught me was that the government is very intelligent, and there's no way around it. It's just a matter of time. to when they want to get you. And when you from New York, like I'm from, none of that is legal. You know, I live in Massachusetts, in a legal state. You in Cali, that's a legal state.
Mm-hmm.
But that still doesn't give people the right to bag up pounds and say you opening shop.
Nope.
Like, come on, come on, man. You gotta have some common sense about you.
Yeah, man. And I see it on my IG all the time, just random people selling perks and selling lean. Like, I'm like, you're really selling this shit? They'll put it in their stories, dog, in their Instagram story. Yeah. I'm like, if I see this shit, you know the feds see it, man.
Yeah. I tell people, like, listen, don't send me nothing. I don't want to see a picture. I don't want to see nothing. Word. If you know me, you know my twist, and that's it. We know each other. That's all we need to know.
Yeah, damn sure don't tag our location if we're out eating breakfast and shit. Don't be like, yeah, we're at this restaurant in Bronx. No, because somebody that I had beef with 5 years ago might show up. Nah, or somebody you had beef with might, and I get caught in the crossfire. Nah, don't be tagging me and shit.
Yeah, we don't do that. No locations. We not. You know, it's sad because it becomes the norm to people where everybody does it. So I don't care what everybody does. That's not how we move. You know, I'll let y'all know where we was at after we left. Yo, me and Dusty just left Blase Blah Diner. The meal was good. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But you ain't gonna catch us there.
Nah, you ain't catching us slipping, man. Nope.
Right. Yo, this is your man Preacher Bishop representing the BX, Rich and Loyal. Yo, tune into my man Dusty Vision TV, man. He got it locked on these streets, man. The hottest growing YouTube channel and podcast. Make sure you like and subscribe. Dusty Vision TV, Rich and Loyal. I'm out.
Just give me a little bit of peace, steady job and some food to eat. Just give me a little bit of peace, steady job and some food to eat. Just give me
that trips me out that I see rappers doing this all the time. I'm sure you see it on YouTube and Instagram. Is they'll go to their ops hood, they'll go to the different hoods and I'm at your location, tagging their location, and some rappers, especially in Chicago, have gotten their brains blown out by doing shit like that.
Yeah, and then the kid in Cali just get his joint.
Oh, man, I'm glad you heard about that. Thank you for bringing that up, man. BLOCKBOY.
Yeah.
Yes, dude.
Yeah, man.
This Instagram dude, and here's the trip out on this, Preacher Bishop. I started following the guy maybe like 3 weeks before he got found dead. Real quick, I'll tell the story to my audience out there. This dude named BLOCKBOY, rapper / Instagram guy, he would literally go to different neighborhoods and spit on their graffiti. You know, he have somebody recording him. He'll hop out of his car, do his thing, talk shit about their hood. He'd go to Hoover's. He'd go to Nickerson Gardens. He went to PJ Watts. Like, he went to places where I don't go at in 12 noon. You know what I'm saying? He was going there and just talking shit. Long story short, they found him, gunshots to the torso and to the head in a nice city called Lakewood, dog. If you know anything about Lakewood, homie, it's pretty much Mayberry. You know what I'm saying? It has a couple of streets that are a little, messed up or whatever, but doesn't every city, but it's literally 90% Mayberry. And he got caught, slipping, dog. I'm glad you brought that up, homeboy, so you did hear about that, huh?
Yeah, homie, it's the disrespect, it's the disrespect, man. Like, I'm not an advocate for violence. I really wish the whole world could be at peace, but that's not how the way things go. And people are really disrespectful out here. Karma is a bitch, and you cannot expect not to receive it. Like, if you disrespecting people like that, like, it's just what it is, man. I don't, in a sense, no disrespect to his family, and God bless the dead, but I don't feel bad for people when they get touched like that, when they running around like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's really hard to feel bad about them. We obviously feel bad about the family he left behind, his mom, people like that, but it's really hard to feel bad about a dude that was...
Hey, I'm a realist. If that was my brother and he was doing that, yeah, I'd be mad my brother was gone. I'd probably defend him to the death, right or wrong. But I'm a realist, and he was dead wrong. Yeah, they caught him because he was dead wrong.
Yeah.
People gotta say when they wrong. We gotta call these people out, man, because that's gonna save lives. That's gonna save lives. When you call them out, tell them, yo, you wrong. You need to slow down. Somebody needs to grab him by the collar. He would still be here right now.
A lot of OGs, because I've asked this question to a couple of cats since it happened, and the general consensus is that there's no big homie. Back when they were growing up in the 80s and 90s, there was a big homie, and if this dude had a big homie, he'd be like, "What the hell are you doing? Stop doing that, you dummy!" Now these big homies, they're 8 months older than you. You know what I'm saying? They're your same age. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is a generation gap, and the thing about it is they gotta understand too. The big homies that are out there, the OGs that are our age, we got lives going on. So that should be an example for you right there. Mm-hmm. We trying to take care of families, pay mortgages, start businesses. Those are the things that you should be looking forward. If you're looking up and down a block and you only see cats your age there's a reason for that. Because the cats that's older are either dead, in jail, or trying to be successful and be responsible and doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, man.
We got all of these people on the internet that's giving us guidance, and they're not giving it to them real. They're not giving it to them real. You can't learn shit from somebody that's 6 months older than you. Mm-hmm. Not saying that you can learn from everybody, but in the sense that we the same age. What could you really teach me?
Going through the same struggles.
We going through the same struggles, the same puberty at the same time. Like, you shooting puppy water, I'm shooting puppy water. Now, what your father or what your uncles is doing. He got a tow truck company. That's something we need to be looking out for. Because, the cliche saying is wind up dead or in jail. That's what's gonna happen. It's no end to it. That's what it is. But they don't get it until they boys start dropping, and then they become numb to the violence. You got to wake up these emotions. You know what I'm saying? These OGs need to step up and get emotional because they need to look at them as they kids. My son and my daughters, they friends. I look at them as my kids, and that's how we got to start looking at the community. If I look at it like that, you take your kids, you look at your kids, friends like that. Mm-hmm. That's how it starts in the community. We could take care of the ones that don't have no father or don't have any parental figure and give them something. Give them some type of guidance.
I remember that's how it used to be when I was a kid. My neighbor had just as much right to whoop my ass, that my mom did. If my mom was at work. Nowadays you don't even talk to your neighbor across the street. I maybe have 2 neighbors in my whole neighborhood that I even talk to. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's not that I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? It's just that people don't give off the most kindest vibes. But back in the day, it was, hey, how you doing? Even if you're in a shitty ass neighborhood, it was still like, hey, Mrs. Robinson, I work, if you see Dusty doing something, please, you have the right to, back when you could actually, your mom could write a note and you can go buy cigarettes for at the liquor store.
Yeah.
Man, what a time.
Absolutely. Yeah. Dancing in hedges, mental life. That was the joint I used to have to get.
Oh.
But yeah, man. Yeah, that's the truth. But I still keep that I guess that rooted foundation of family, the family entity wherever I go and carry myself. Some people might say I'm a little bit too loyal, but I like to love first because what's on the other side is not good. So I want to love first. You know what I'm saying? I might not give off the vibe like that all the time because I'm a serious dude, but I like to love first, and I carry that on to these kids. So when my kids bring their friends around, I'm the hip hop pop. Yeah, how many people parents rap? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give it to them real while I'm smoking a blunt. I'm telling them what's life about for real. We need to keep it more reality based with these kids. I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep babbling on, but I want to tell these people, my email is odfam718@gmail.com. And if anybody out there has children or teenagers with some type of behavioral issues that need reality-based counseling, this is not medicinal counseling, this is not schooling counseling, this is reality-based counseling. I'm giving free counseling and free advice to the youth. So you can hit me up at odfam718@gmail.com, and I'll gladly take my time out to try to help you and address you with your problem with your child.
Yo, that's dope, homie. And you know what? I know you're retired, so you may have some extra time on your hands. But have you ever thought about starting a YouTube channel or a podcast, man?
Yeah, I actually do have a podcast right now. With one of my military brothers. We actually it used to be three of us, but one of my guys passed away from brain cancer. God rest the dead. My guy G, thank you. So we just getting back up and running. The name of our podcast is called The Weekly Dosage. The Weekly Dosage. We're on iTunes, all digital platforms. iHeartRadio is the biggest platform to listen to us, and we're also on YouTube. And I have a spinoff of that called The Streets of My Church podcast. But I kind of took a little. I heard that before. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I took a little hiatus because I like to be face to face with people, and just what's going on right now. Yeah, it's not conducive.
Yeah, I hear you. Shit, what else you got going on, man? The floor is yours.
Oh man, yo, this Friday be dropping Rich Mo, who's also the other CEO of Rich and Loyal. He's dropping his first single in a while. It's called Dumb Out. Produced by me. I'm doing a hook. I got a verse on it featuring King Hayes. This is like a drill party song. We had some fun with this one. It's a lit song. It's gonna be a big song. So look out for that joint. Rich Mo, Dumb Out, and then I'm dropping probably next month. I'll be shooting a couple videos, and I'll be dropping some more singles. The next one will probably be called Fix My Crown. So look out for that joint. And I'm just gonna keep pushing for this summer. I'm looking for artists. If you want, if y'all want to get with the team, I have beats. I'm like a one-man machine, man. I can't really stop. Like at this age or whatever, I just love this music. So I'm making beats and I'm rapping, man.
That's what's up, man. That's dope, dude. Yeah, New York is on fire right now. Obviously, specifically, kind of Brooklyn is taking the reins, but New York definitely has a spotlight. Again, it's been a long time, dog. Like since New York,
it has been,
right? I mean, '90s, it was New York. You know what I'm saying? And then came to LA, and then down south. South was holding it forever. But now it seems like you guys have the stronghold. Who are there anybody out of the Bronx that are really, really popping right now? I'm trying to keep my ear to the street.
The hybrid guys, they always doing their thing. To be honest with you, my man Pete Powers, my man Hot Waters, King Squad TV, everybody from Fort Independence who does music. There's a bunch of guys. Everybody from Edenwald Projects that does music. I'm really bad with names. I've been through a couple of explosions, so my memory is a little bit off. You know what I mean? Those guys and Rich and Loyal, we doing our damn thing. I've been doing my thing for years. We had a real stronghold on the streets in the early 2000s, but due to the death of my brother and life, we took a little hiatus. But I'm back at it. Even though I don't live in the Bronx, they know I pull up. I'm only 3 hours away. That's nothing. That's a little dip. I'm there all the time. You know what I'm saying? So, that's my son and all of me. They always doing their thing. God bless Fred the Godson. He was.
Oh man,
he was probably gonna be. Yeah, man. He was probably gonna be the next one up.
He was, dog.
You know what I mean?
Damn.
I know there's young cats that I'm not too familiar with. And I'm not trying to play their sound, but they harmonize. They sing and they harmonize. They're not doing the traditional MC rap. So a lot of them sound alike to me. So I can't pick them out. But shout out to everybody with that sound, because when I want to hear that sound, it's cool. You know what I mean? So shout out to y'all. The young cats that's doing it with the harmonizing and all that.
Yeah, man. Well, shit, appreciate Bishop. It's always a pleasure, homeboy. I definitely look forward to, maybe doing this again in a few months and just catching up. You're a positive dude, and I really like the vibes you put out in the air. And thank you so much, man.
I appreciate it, yo, Dusty. I'm gonna need a solid from you. I'm gonna need to interview you for my podcast.
Anytime. Literally, homie, I owe you. Anytime. I'm pretty much free after 6 p.m. my time in California. So anytime after that, if you could do it on a late night, I know you're out there in Massachusetts, or on the weekend. So hit me up offline. I promise you, I got you. We'll do it within the next week, man. I got you, homie.
Absolutely. May the Most High bless you and your family, brother.